Okay, folks, I'm going to make a little video with my crappy camera because my other camera just took a dump. And it's not worse than enough to get fixed, even though it's less than a year old. The Samsungs are like a $100 camera. And after 90 days, they only cover parts. So labor on this is $55. You add shipping to it. Back and forth, you got another $25. So $75 to get it fixed, or $100 to get a new one. So therefore, garbage. The Doomsday Preppers. Interesting. Nat Geo didn't go overboard making them sound like nuts. They did leave it a little bit to the point to the part that the prepper community doesn't want to listen to their experts. The experts said, well, this and that. For instance, I'll talk to one of them that I know about, Southern Prepper 1. They told him that his house there is a little bit out in the open. Now, Southern Prepper 1, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that house, if the one that they showed in the picture, it is kind of out there, stuck out like a sore thumb. What's wrong with doing a little edible landscaping? It's kind of barren around the house. Plant you some trees, man. Not too close to the house. You don't want big trees close enough to the house that it can fall on the house. But hey, between you and the road, a little orchard, maybe of peach trees or something. Peach tree go good in your area. Especially the contender peach trees. Plant that between your house, closer to the house. And then further away by the road, you could have nut trees, because nut trees get big. You don't want them close to the house in case a storm comes by and blows it over. And then, when most people don't realize after poo hits the fan, you can throw a bunch of trash around, get you some windows out of an abandoned house and put over your windows and break them. Make it look like the house has already been looted. Now, my house looks like it's been looted right now, so, yeah. But, there's little things you can do to lower your observability. That house did look brand new. I don't know why you put a red roof on it. Couldn't you go with more of an earth-toned color to that roof? Flying over, if I'm flying over an airplane, hey, look, that bright red roof on that house. That did surprise me there, Southern Prepper. Thought you would have been more into the low natural earth tone colors to that, so, can of paint, some of that light, like I did for my chicken coop. I got a leaf, a fallen leaf, and I took it to the paint people. I wanted this color and flat. So it's kind of like a brown leaf that fell off a tree is the color. So, paint your roof that color. First off, it'll be slightly lighter, so it'll reflect more heat, which isn't a bad thing. And for people flying over, it kind of just blends into the neighborhood. I mean, you already got the log cabin part, which blends in. So why did you put a red roof on it? Okay, so I'm done making fun of yanking Southern Preppers chain. The people in the desert, the one girl didn't want to make a plan to bug out. Granted, if everybody else was trying to get out, they are set up to stay there. All right, now that's if everybody else tries to leave, but if everybody else tries to stay, you're in a lot of problems. I mean, if you're set up in Phoenix and everybody else has left Phoenix, there's more leftover resources, so you could capture the rainwater off the abandoned roofs and stuff like that for people staying. That's counting on everybody else bugging out. Being in a suburb, unless you have neighbors that are with you, you're kind of up the creek. Other than that, Doomsday Prepper, it gave me a bunch of ideas. It has motivated me. And like I say, it just so happens the camera took a dump about the time I got motivated. So I will definitely be working on my 101 series, going back to 101 prepping. Now you got to understand, it's difficult for somebody to make videos on something they've already made videos on. It's in our heads, once you make video, look, just go back and look at it again. Well, maybe, who knows, maybe the second time I make the video, I will articulate a little bit better what I'm trying to get across. I don't know. Maybe YouTube loses the old videos. I will not stop making inflammatory videos. I have a video planned because I have noticed in some of my followers, they are Nazis and parts of hate groups. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate Nazis too. I'm not a Nazi. I'm a constitutional American. I have to tolerate Nazis. You have the right to be a Nazi. It does not mean I'm going to associate with you, and I do not agree with the Nazi, whatever, your propaganda or your ethics. Don't agree with it. I don't hate Jews because they're Jews. Matter of fact, when I was growing up, some of my friends were Jews. But I had some friends that were Jews that I couldn't stand too. Well, they weren't my friends. Does that make any sense? What they are makes no difference. How they act is whether I don't like them or not. I've even met one or two black people that I could trust. That's it, though. Just one or two. All the black people I've ever met, they have one thing in the back of their mind: to screw over the white man. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Let's see, what else? I was going to talk on the Doomsday Preppers thing. They had another one. Yeah, as far as the Doomsday Prepper thing, it was good. Gave some ideas. It did highlight some of the more extreme things. It didn't really highlight the generalist prepper. You got the guy that's worried about the nuclear bombs. You got the woman for the economic collapse. You got, two. Southern Prepper one was the economic collapse. You got the one for the solar maximum on 2012. Why does it have to be 2012? It could be tomorrow. Okay? I think they threw that 2012 in there to give it a sense of, trying to make it appear a little bit nutty. It could happen on 2012. I don't know. Economic collapse could happen on 2012. I don't know. It could happen in 2013. It could happen in 2011. It could be this year. Looking at some of the news going on, the economy's not getting any better. Even with all the quantitative easing and everything, the banks are still sitting on all that cash. So when they release it, there's going to be inflation. It's already inflated. When I went and feed corn doubled in price in the 6 months between the times I purchased it, they just released a bunch of oil from the reserve to lower the the effects of the price increases. Well, that might help a little bit for the summer driving season, but, the summer driving season, the vacation, is not a necessity. It is not a necessity for you to go to Dollywood, or it's not a necessity to go to on an ocean cruise. Those are not necessities. If it's up to me, and I seen things were getting hard times, I would take my vacation money and maybe have a camping trip. Have a little learning experience. Take that, how much is an ocean cruise now for a family? Probably several $1,000s when you factor in all the tips and gratuities and and all that stuff. For that, a family could buy a nice pop-up camper or a used pull-behind camper and go on a camping trip. And you know what? Then you have a camper. You have something there that you could use in a bug-out situation, like the people in Phoenix. If they wanted to invest in a camper, that would be ideal, especially one of those toy hauler ones that could, hold a couple of bikes in the back and some of their food storage in the back. And, I've often thought, why don't the camper people make a camper just for the people that are, like, out working? When you go to, in other words, all the camper would have in it would be a nice shower and toilet, itty-bitty kitchen, and a bedroom. That's it. Your sitting area wouldn't be no more than where I'm sitting at now. It would be a table, and that's it. The biggest part in this whole thing, a stand-up washer-dryer, one of those stackable washer and dryers. So you would go to the place, you hook up to it, and that's where you go work. You go into work. And it could be used as a bug-out trailer. But most of them I see are geared toward camping. The transient worker version of the trailer. That would be a good idea for a trailer. Myself, I've already finished another phase of my prepper stuff. I had done the food. I've got more than enough food for myself. I've got enough food for myself for 5 years. I don't even count not 5. Yeah, probably 5. I got about enough for 7 people for a year. So, if it was just myself, I'm a biblical prepper. I had just finished my basic communications stuff. I've got I got a nice ham radio, a small amplifier, a UHF one, and I also have this. I have the same. Well, I don't have the amplifier, but I've got the HF and VHF, UHF in the vehicle. So I've got the same thing duplicated in the vehicle, and I've got another copy of it stored away in a EMP-proof container. It's double shielded and grounded and all that wonderful stuff. So it's in a container that's grounded, and then inside the container it's in another metal container. All right. So it's shielded as good as I can do. I mean, if I had millions of dollars, I could do better, but I do what I can do. Okay, and that's the whole point of it. The emergency preparedness is not bad, because if you're prepared for an EMP, which is what I consider worst case scenario, that same stuff spills over into other things. Economic. If you're prepared for an EMP, you're also prepared for an economic collapse. If you're prepared for an EMP, you're pretty much prepared for an epidemic, because you've got all the same stuff. So that's pretty much it. I do what I can do with what I've got. If people have more money, they go get the freeze-dried foods, and they can have nice tractors and more land. I'm not that wealthy, so I don't have it. I do what I've got. I started off with beans and rice. Then I added in other things, and then I did edible landscaping around the house. I put in fruit trees. I put in nut trees. Put in beehives. I got some raised bed gardens out here. I've got lumber sitting out in the barn that could be used to build more raised bed gardens. I could tool up in a hurry, if something happened. I got the goats for dairy. I'm presently upgrading the goats so I can make a little bit of money off of them. So the Doomsday Prepper thing was pretty good. It's for people that want to prep. It gives them some ideas. It shows them. It puts in a national spotlight what they've done, and it gives you ideas. I mean, they took that thing and put tilapia fish in it. That's very ingenious. I wish I was in better shape. I'd like to do something like that too here. I'd like to put a pond in and do tilapia and stuff. I'm not in good enough shape. I don't have any help. I can't give my food away. I fruit trees out here throwing the food away because I can't use it all. I've tried to give it away. They want me to pick it and bring it to them. You know, kiss my butt. If you're so lazy that you can't even come and get the food, I'll throw it away. So anyhow, that's my video and little bits of rants for the day. Thank you very much.